Hi everyone, it's Eddie here at Eddie Makes Art, and today I'm going to show you how I make texture plates using modeling paste. I have a video that demonstrates how I make my texture plates, and at that time though I was using a different modeling paste and I was using just cardboard as my surface, but I was also using stencils. So we're going to use stencils today, but I want to show you that I'm using the Liquitex acrylic medium light modeling paste. So this is a first for me. I'm trying this out. So far I think it works well. Now let me show you. This is on black chipboard. I just cut up a 12 by 12 into several different sizes according to the stencils I'm going to be using. And then I went ahead and I put a handle on the back using some blue tape, and that way you can easily pick it up, put it down without getting your hands all mussed in. And then I did this one earlier, and this was using Paulla Rune Blocks mask. If I could get it over here, it's this right here. And I did it, so basically what I did is I figured out, I measured what section of the stencil I wanted to use. So in this case, I believe it was, I did it on the other side, so it could be different, yeah. So I used, was it that? Anyway, the point is, I wanted to tell you is it makes a great stencil for a texture plate. However, I wasn't even while putting down my texture paste. I was even in some spots, but not even in other spots. So I may redo this one, I may not, but just, you know, one of the lessons I've learned is you got to keep the strokes even, you got to keep the paste even, and give yourself enough loft, meaning, you know, like enough paste that's going to allow each detail to, most details, let's say, to show up at the same level. Like these are all different levels. However, it's going to work just fine. I'm not worried about that. But just keep that in mind when you're putting the texture paste on. And for doing that, I'm using 2 palette knives. Sometimes one is easier than the other. Oftentimes I find the offset spatula works a lot better. This is just a plastic one with paint all over it, but it works fine. Okay, so I've got my paste. And next to me, I've also got a bucket of water. Nothing huge, just, you know, like a little tub with some water in it. So when I'm done with my stencil, I can dunk it into the water, because if you allow the modeling paste or texture paste, whatever you're using, to dry on the stencil, it's going to dry solid and you won't be able to get it off. And that's going to obviously, you know, do damage to your stencil. So soak them or wash them off after use. Don't let it dry. And the other thing I do is I try to take the excess that's on a stencil and I put it on a piece of tissue. So this was the leftover. And you see how much better that came out? I did a better job here. But yeah, so I can use this, I can color this with sprays or on the gel plate with paint. And they make great pieces for collage, or just, you know, if you do make it a mixed media piece and you need a little texture, it's just perfect. Okay, and sometimes, but depending on the design, more so a design, let's say like this one. This is from Becky Bokern. It is a woven stencil set. It comes in 4 of these size stencils in 4 different designs, but basically this weave element in all of them. So I thought I'd use the larger one. And so if I were to do this one on tissue with the modeling paste, I could come back, wet the back of the tissue, and usually you can peel off that that mark there, or that one piece, and then use it in something else. You can glue it down onto, you know, just whatever, a tag, a journal card, whatever you want to do, right? But it's a great way to create texture for your projects. Okay, so let me put this to the side. Let me show you the different stencils I'm going to use. So I'm showing you these two. And then this is what's called the, I can do this from memory, Feathery Eye Clusters stencil, but in mandala form. So you get several of these in different sizes. And then, so this is a good size I chose because it's not too big, it's not too small. And which one is this? 4.5, 4.5, I think this one. This one is for here. So see, that'll fit perfectly on there with not too much. I can even come back and I can trim around here so that there's less surface contact with the paper or the chipboard, and it more focuses on the texture plate. Okay, that's another thing I learned from using the cardboard is less cardboard surface is better, more textured surface is less cardboard is empty surface is better. Also, it enhances the your design when you transfer it to the plate. Now this is another one by PM Artist Studio. This is called Rune Blocks. No, that was this one by Paulla. That's Rune Blocks. This is Cape Rocks. There you go. This is another mask. And I cut this one 6.5 by 3. And so that should fit on there perfectly. And then again, I would probably come in and trim around here gently, carefully with a craft knife to get that excess off. But it's already got the little tabby thing, and it'll make a great texture plate. So let's just keep these together so I know that those are the sizes. Here's another one. I believe this was designed by Paulla. It's from her eye collection. And still got started. I think it's 4.5 by 4. Let me see, 4.5 by 4, yes. So this will fit on here perfectly. Like that. Okay, put you there. I think this long one was extra, so I'm just leaving it to the side for now. So these are 4 by 4.5, 4.5 by 4.5, 4 by 4.5. So I think for this one, we're gonna do this mesh, not mesh. I'll get the name, it'll come to me. But, so this one will be an all over the card. Why not? And this one here, this is great for this. It'll go pretty much, it's gonna go pretty much all over. There might be a little edge on either side, but we can worry about that later. So let it go there. And then this one, this is it's a gauze. It's gauze, but it's AKA iCat. I always remember it as iCat. IKAT. So you can find it on the PM Artist Studio website using that word, and this one will come up. There's an older version of this one where it doesn't have the distress spots. It's just the weave. Let me see here. Let's decide where we want, because obviously if you include these distressed areas, there's no paste that's going to go on there. She's going to have exposed chipboard. So I want to try to get it where there's the least amount of that going on. And I think this is a good spot. I get a little bit down here. I'm not too worried about that, but at least I get most of that going on. Let me just check if there's another area that I can use. So I think that this is going to be the best area. So why don't we go ahead and start with this one. Let me set you aside because you're done. All right. So this bad boy, it comes with a foil seal, and the only bit I've used is what I used on that first card, and I just like to give it a little stir. But it's pretty smooth. I'll get some on here, and I just want to make sure that I situate myself before I start doing this. So I think here is good. Now, this one's going to be a challenge because there's a lot. However, we're just going to take our time. And since I'm left-handed, but I work with my right hand, I'm going to go right to left. And I'm not pushing, I'm just trying to glide this over the stencil. Let's get a little bit down here. This last section that's giving me a issue. Okay, here we go. Let's move on to the next section. A little more. Scrape that off a little bit and get a little bit more. Come on. See here, I'm gonna need a little bit more. And just take your time. This isn't anything you want to rush. But you don't want to, obviously take so much time that you're just basically moving the paste around and not getting a good covering. All right, I'm not going to fuss with it anymore. And I'm going to gently peel the stencil back. All right, that I think looks great. And I'm going to show you this part here. So I'm try and tilt it so you can see that. Oh geez, here we go. You see it's got some good lift. It's good height. I'm gonna go over the edges and get the excess off. Here we go. This one's good for that. All right, so that's beautiful. I'm gonna set it behind me because I have a tray ready for them. And I'll show you how I clean up this stencil. And then what I'm gonna do is we'll move on to the next one. Put the towel here. So here, let's go to this tissue again. That off there, don't need that. And get this paste on here. And just scraping it through the stencil best I can. All right, that got most of it off. Look at that. So now we have, in the water you go. So now we have this bit, man, this really nice bit here that'll work for other projects. All right, for the next one, since it's out here in my face, I'm gonna do this one. And I think this one, oh, that's why I did the extra one. It's because I had an extra one and then I pulled this one out, this stencil out. So, let's see. One more layer here. that, I think I messed up there. I messed that up. If you notice, but the stencil lifted. And this pink color that you're seeing, or this reddish color, I believe that's from the chipboard leaching the color, but we're not worried about that because this is going to get painted on anyway. So let me lift this, and I may not be happy, but let's see. Oh, much better than I expected. Okay. I'm happy with that. All I really need to do, scrape this side here. I think, take that off there. There we go. Wonderful. Maybe this here too. So there we have it. And what's next? So let's do this one now. And I thought, yeah, this is the way. So I'm going to do it this way because all that paint is getting hard to, makes it hard to see where I am on this. All right, so let's give this a gander. This one should be a good one. Gently. Look at that. We missed some of those. I went too heavy. I went too heavy. That's okay. So what you can do, you sit there. Now, there's not much on here, so I'm going to take this off. Let's start again. Do this again. I'm gonna get rid of this paste because it's got that color, and you see how the color's leaching out from the chipboard. So, all right, get you up. Let's try this again. I need to let's clear this up as much as possible, and then maybe with what's left on here, I can get a good stenciling. I might have gone too heavy on this one. Well, it's not perfect, but it's much, much better. I'm gonna just call this a win and move on, but I think that's good. Now these I'm not really worried about the exact shapes, because this is going to be again for mixed media use. All right, that can go in there. See, it's even better here. I think I got to go thinner so you can see more detail on this. This one doesn't matter. I think I'm just going to stay in the middle. It's easiest. And let's get some paste going here. So what I will do is I will do my best to link the stencils I'm using today in the description box of the video, so you can not have to guess or, you know, go searching forever. Almost fell on me, but it didn't. Nice. That worked perfectly. All right, I'm happy with that. Okay, so let's move on to the eyeball. This one. Let's see. I think right there is good. Yeah, yep. Spatula. Some lovely paste. I think this one probably has been the easiest one. Beautiful. I see you. Very nice. That's gonna make a fun texture plate. Cape Rocks, baby. I don't think it doesn't really matter, so I'm just going to do it that way. Now this one I got to be careful because it's got, you know, all these the funky edge, but I'm not going to worry about that. Try to focus on the stencil. Oh, well, since it's already come up, I'm going to just pull it up so I don't ruin it. And I love that. But I'm going to take my flat spatula and clean up some of the edges. So I don't want these extraneous bits hanging around. So I know that was the outside. All right, that's good. It's gonna look a lot better, trust me, when you use it on the plate, because you have to let them dry, and then, like I said, I'll trim around them so they're easier, so they don't hit other spots where I might not want it. And I'll show you how they look once I've done all that, and then I'll show you how to use them on the gel plate. I really like this stencil, so I had to make it into a texture plate. And let's do this. Again, this is one of those you want to just take your time, get that paste into all the orifices. Oh, that's beautiful. All right, before it dries, I'm gonna take my straight spatula and get rid of some of this on the edge. Voila. Okay, so these have to dry, and then I'm gonna trim them, and then I'll show you how I use them on the gel plate. See you soon. All right, so these are all dry, and I went ahead and I trimmed them up. As you see here, I took off some of that, some there, trimmed this one down, and then I trimmed this one a lot, went all the way around. These didn't need trimming, and then I went ahead and I did the eye. I wasn't going to do the eye as drastically as this, but I think it'll work better like this. I may have to move this down eventually, but not for now. So let's do a little jelly printing. We'll use a couple of these. Should definitely use the eye, and maybe some of that, and maybe some of this. Let's just do those 3 for now. And I'm just going to use 2 colors here. This is phthalo blue and some phthalo green. And one of the tricks to this is to get to the paint to the point. Let it dry a little bit so it's still tacky. Do your impressions and then let the rest of it dry. And then you can come back and pick it up with another color. And I've got the paper underneath as a guide as to what coverage area do I need. All right, that's good, yeah. Edges, let's do some of this here. See, you could just overlap if you want, or just go to a different spot. There you go. Here's our weave. I'm doing the edges first. They tend to dry faster. There you go. I notice the center is still more wet than the rest. Come over here, add some of this here, take up some of that extra paint. There, good, maybe a little more here. And we can do our eye next. Not bad. Not bad at all. And then maybe I'll just come in here. Just do a little weave in there, maybe a little bit there. All right. Let me let this dry and then we'll come back with another color and do a pickup. Okay, this is nice and dry now, so I'm just going to use this Paulla iridescent gold paint to pick up the print. And let's get a little bit there. I'll make sure I have enough. Beautiful gold, huh? Very nice. Okay, paper. Here we go. Let's drop this down. Where's that? About here. Okay. Get this squidged down. I need my tissue. I have one. Okay, so we've got this. Just get my edges. Oops. Clean that. All right, this should be sufficiently dry. It's been on the plate for 5 minutes now. So let's start with this corner. Don't mind this. That's okay. That's good stuff for later. Ooh, look at that. Look at how beautiful that is. I really, really like that. Very nice. And you see, so the point is to take off paint and leave behind, you know, your design. So yeah, I think this was excellent. So set you aside to dry. Now, why don't we do something, same colors, but let's we'll do some different plates here. Get some blue and green. Sometimes you can, if you want to mix it better, you can smoosh it all around. All right, I like it. All right, so we have this. Let's do the mandala. I want to do that first. It's this one. This is the Feathery Eye Mandala. And don't worry, I will link all of the link to each stencil. Some of them come in sets. Some of them come in, you know, various sizes. But oh, I didn't want to go there. That's okay. And they are. So you'll be able just to click the link and it'll take you directly to the actual stencil. If I can get some more of that up. And don't forget pressing the center. That's where all the good stuff is, right? There we go. So I'm talking, the paint is drying, but that's okay because it helps to get a better pull on here. Now it's really not going to release much paint, maybe onto your hands, but other than that, it'll soak and it'll go into the texture paste. And then some of these will turn out really cool, like once it gets all painty and stuff. And I know some people have turned them into books, you know, or book covers. Get some down here just in case. And then up top, let's do the mandala again. Better. Paint is a perfect wetness up here. You see how nice and sharp those are? All right, so I think over here we need a little picking up. What if we did more of this one? There we go. All right, so let me find color to pick this up with. We did the gold on the other one. This will dry by the time I'm done looking for a color. I really like this yellow ochre from Lucas Krill. It's smooth. It's got a really rich color. Ba-da-ba. Okay. It's a beautiful color. Beautiful. Where's my paper? Here's my paper. Over here. Yeah. Goes down. Get my edges in the corner. Okay, so this has been drying. And it should be good and dry. Usually when the surface here doesn't feel cool, it's good to go. Let's try and pull this bad boy. Ooh, this is looking bueno. Oh, look at all of it. It picked all of it up. Fantastic print. And you see, these were much more defined on the top row than they were here. If I had waited a couple more minutes, this would have been more defined, but it's still good. Got some great prints here. What do I have here? I've got quinacridone red. Let's see. I think that's good. I think I'm just going to do the red for now. I don't have much else that I want to put with it right now, so I'm just going to mix these two together. Or just use this one color. Is what I'm trying to say. I don't know if that last part recorded. I apologize. So What I did was I put down a layer of the quinacridone red, golden fluid acrylic, and those dry quickly, and they also start settling up, especially if there's even a little bit of oil on the plate, and that would be residue from when I conditioned it, and that's fine, but it creates these really cool selling effects. So I'm gonna let this completely dry and then come back and we'll pick it up with something fun. All right, so we are nice and dry, and I'm just gonna go ahead and stick with the yellow ochre. And I think that will be perfect. So just a nice layer of that. There we go. Some paper would be helpful. Where am I here? Where am I? I think we're good. I might have put that down a little crooked, but no worries. We'll get that. We'll get the print. All right, this has had about 5 minutes on the plate. So I'm gonna go ahead and peel this corner here. Ooh, good choice on the yellow ochre, Eddie. This is gonna look at that. Ooh, I'm speechless. This is a good one. Oh boy, look at that. That is beautiful. Gorgeous print. Very nice. Awesome. So I hope you enjoyed this little video today on how to make your own texture plates using stencils and modeling paste. So these are all the fab ones we made today. Some we used, some we didn't. That's okay. Those, that one. And then these are our two other prints. This was with the phthalo green and blue with a gold in as a pickup. And then this is the, let me fix this here for you. And then this is the same two colors, but we used different texture plates, obviously. And we used the yellow ochre on this one. So 3 fun prints. And 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. We forgot the eye. 7 texture plates. So I hope you enjoyed this today. And don't forget to hit the like and subscribe button and share this if you know that there's someone who needs to learn how to make these things, or someone who would enjoy watching someone make these things. Thanks so much. I will see you in the next video.